Hello everybody, how are all my friends doing? Today we are going to be talking about how to use a pencil and how to hold it correctly and how to work well using that. Today you're going to need this sheet for when we're done with our story, erase to trace, with this on the front, and then on the back we had some shapes. So today I do like to start with a book every day. We like to read a book every day because I love to read. So I thought it would be fun to just read one of my monster books today. I know our book usually goes along with whatever our lesson is. But last lesson we talked about rhyming words. So this is one of my favorite books called Monster Trouble. And in this book, there's lots of great rhyming words. Last time we used a really long rhymey rhyme book. Dr. Seuss does a great job with that. But this one, we're gonna look for some rhyming words in our book, Monster Trouble. Because it's a cute book. And it's got monsters in it, and we all know I love monsters. So our title is Monster Trouble. And sometimes when we're reading, friends, we look at the cover of our book and kind of get an idea of what our story is going to be about. So on her cover, I see a little girl here, and she does not look happy, does she? She kind of looks mad. And she's in her bed, and I see lots of different monsters all around her. And I'm wondering why she's so mad. So I want you to think for a second, why might she be so mad? I'm thinking that she might be mad because I'm thinking she might want to go to bed. Maybe all these monsters are in her room. When I'm ready for bed, I don't want anybody bugging me, right? So let's read Monster Trouble to find out if that's why this little girl does not look happy. And we're listening for those rhyming words, okay, friends? Because there's going to be some good ones in here. Okay. Winifred Schnitzel was never afraid. Not of monsters or ghouls or the noises they made. Made. She loved scary movies and werewolves and thunder and peg-leg pirates who bury their plunder. Plunder. So Winifred likes scary things. So do you think she's going to like monsters? Probably, right? Still, Winifred's bedtime was hardly spook-free. The neighborhood monsters would not let her be. Each night they'd show up and attempt to be scary. Some would growl and some would belch. Some were slimy, some hairy. So free B, scary Harry. Does she look scared? She doesn't look very scared. But all of their monsterly mayhem was moot because Winifred Schnitzel thought monsters were cute. Like me, I think they're cute too. Still, night after night, all those monsters kept creeping into Winifred's bedroom, interrupting her sleeping. Creeping, sleeping. This is like me at night, reading my books. I wish monsters would come hang out in my room. Too tired for math, too exhausted for fun, she finally decided those monsters are done. She ordered a book titled Monsters Beware and constructed the sticky string small monster snare. Looks like she has all these lines set up. What do you think they are, friends? What do you think she's going to do? Think for a second, maybe tell the adult that's home with you, what do you think she's going to do with all these strings? It looks like it was a trap. But that night, the big monsters all showed up first. The sticky string snare got so stretched out that it burst. There were monsters on bedposts and stuck to the wall. They made slingshots from string. They were having a ball. Winifred sighed. They were louder than ever. She knew that she needed to try something clever. Clever. So she brought in some stinky old Limburger cheese. The label said, "Caution, makes big monsters sneeze." The monsters just called up Goblin Street Deli. They ordered in bagels and fish eyeball jelly. Ooh, I bet it smells so bad in there. Ew. Winifred barely got through the next day. She dozed off in art class and snoozed through ballet. She decided, that's it. I've got to get tough. She was tired of monsters. Enough was enough. So she built every spook trap in Monsters Beware and one of her own that she called the Prickly Bum Chair. What do you think happens in this chair? I bet those monsters sit on it and go, ouch! Poor Winifred yawned. She was so very sleepy. She was starting to look a bit spookily creepy. When monsters showed up with their howling and roaring, Winifred Schnitzel was already snoring. Snoring. She was dreaming of puppies when a monster went hiss. She reached out and gave him a big sleepy kiss. The monsters look scared, don't they? They look like they're the scared ones. The monster yelled, yuck! All the others were heaving. One gagged, and one big monster shouted, I'm leaving. Winifred knew that despite their uniqueness, she discovered that monsters have one silly weakness. So she puckered and pouted and kissed them all good. Those monsters screamed, running as fast as they could. Now Winifred sleeps very soundly at night. In the daytime, she's happy and perky and bright. But sometimes she finds that a monster's crept in right around bedtime with a monsterly grin. She ignores all the growling and roaring and hissing, since one thing that all monsters hate most is kissing. Who knew? The end. So who knew, boys and girls, monsters don't like smooches? There were some fun rhyming words in there. And look she was mad. We were right. She was mad that they were keeping her awake just like we thought. What a great story. I like Winifred. She's fun. Okay, so we did some reading, but now I want to talk about when it's time for you to do your activities, and when we come back to school, we're going to be doing a lot of writing, and we're going to get your hands nice and strong. So I gave you guys some Play-Doh the first day that we met, and you can use that to strengthen your hands. Making things with Play-Doh, you'd be surprised, boys and girls, it gets those hand muscles really nice and strong, and it's going to help you be a better writer. So there's a couple things we have to do good writing. First thing, you need a happy pencil. And if you kind of look here, you can see that the tip of my pencil is nice and sharp. We call those happy pencils at school. Because if you don't have a good tip on your pencil, you're not going to get good writing. I don't even have a sad pencil around here because I like them super, super sharp and happy. So that's number one. You need a good pencil. Number two, you got to be sitting the right way in your chair. We put our fannies in our chair, our back against the back of our chair like this, nice and tall, and we sit up nice and tall. And see how my shoulders are even back? And our feet are flat on the floor. That's really important. Because if I'm like this, and I'm hanging on my chair, and I'm trying to do work, guess what? My work is going to be a mess. Just like I'm kind of a mess hanging all over my chair and not doing everything right. So we don't want to be a mess. We're going to sit up nice and tall. Backs against the chair. We say that's having the body of a good writer. See, don't I look like I'm going to do some great writing and be very prestigious? So I have my happy pencil, I have my work paper, and I'm sitting up nice and tall. Last but not least, I got to hold my pencil the right way. If I hold my pencil like this, I am not going to get good writing. No way, Jose. If I hold it like this, or like this, it's not going to work. Now, I know some of my friends like to hold their pencils a little bit differently. My son, he likes to hold his pencil like this. Makes me crazy. So we're going to try our best to hold it this way. You got to I call them your pinchers. So you take your two fingers, and I'm going to get nice and close. My stubby little fingers. I broke a nail, so check that out. My pinchers. And I'm going to stick my pencil so the yellow part is right in my pinchers. You see that, friends? And that's what I'd like you to do. And then I rest it on this guy here. So see how that just looks? See how that looks, friends? That's how it should look, okay? Now I'm holding my pencil ready. I have the body of a good writer. What do I do with this guy? He's just hanging out. He's my helper hand. And we use our helper hand when we cut, when we glue, and when we write. This guy's always helping out. He's a good hand. Okay, my lefties, you guys are switching, obviously. So we have our paper down in front of us. My helper hand is going to hold my paper so that it's not sliding crazy while I'm trying to write and do my very best work. So my helper hand for writing holds my paper down. So now you can see I'm going to start over here where the car is, because I want to start where the car is and I want to end where the flag is, which is a gray screwdriver. And we're going to trace on this dotted line, and we're going to do our very best. And we're going to go nice and slow. So I'm going to start at the car, and I'm going to do my very best to go nice and slow. Do you see how slowly I'm working, friends? I'm staying on the line. Boys and girls, where am I looking while I'm doing this? Am I like this? What? Talking to my friends or my mom or watching TV, putting my leg up on the table? No, my feet are on the floor. I am sitting with the best body of a writer, And my eyes are on my paper. And I'm focused like a kindergartner. And I'm working hard. I'm almost done. Well, my hand's getting a little tired. And that's going to happen. You could take a little break. But now I'm going to go back to it. I'm going to do my bestest work. I did it. Can I take a break? Of course. Boys and girls, at the top of these pages is always going to be a spot for your name. So I'm going to do my very, very best, and I probably should have done that first, to write my name nice and neat on the line. I think I showed you that the other day. My name wasn't floating up in the sky. It wasn't all over the place. It was nice and neat on the line. So see that, friends? Resting really nice and neat on the line. We do have a little song that we sing here in kindergarten whenever we get a paper. And it's, the first thing on your paper is your name. The first thing on your paper is your name. The teacher needs to know who did this work, and so the first thing on your paper is your name. So we sing that whenever we pass papers out. So maybe we could do that at home when we're doing work. So before we start, we would sing that song, and it's fun to sing, and it reminds me that I gotta put my name up here first, because then I don't know whose beautiful work it is. So now you guys are going to get your pinchers out, hold your pencil, body of a good writer, and you're gonna do the next one. Your eyes are on your paper, your feet are on the floor, your helper hand is helping. And notice that my hand with the pencil is the one that's moving. That's very important. I'm not moving the paper, I'm moving my writing hand, okay? So I want you guys to trace all of those. Then you're gonna flip it over. There's a spot for our name. So let's sing our song again, friends. The first thing on your paper is your name. The first thing on your paper is your name. The teacher needs to know who did this work, and so the first thing on your paper is your name. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my pinchers, get my pencil, have my helper hand, and I'm gonna write my name again, nice and neat on the line. This way everyone will know that this is my hard work. I have a very long name. So now what you're going to do, boys and girls, is you're going to trace the triangles. These are triangles. They have 3 points, so it's a triangle. You're going to trace the circles. You're going to trace the rectangles. These are rectangles with the long sides, and you're going to trace the squares. For this, you guys are going to use, so you're going to trace them. So you can trace them with a pencil. Nice and neat. Remember, you're moving your writing hand. Then you're gonna take a crayon, and I don't have any crayons over here, so I'm just gonna use my marker that I have here for right now. And you hold your crayon the same way you hold your pencil. I know, it sounds crazy. Oh, somebody's calling me, they're gonna have to wait. And I'm gonna use my pinchers to hold my crayon, and I'm gonna color. And when I color, I don't color all crazy. I'm gonna stay inside my lines, and I'm gonna do a little bit at a time. Okay, and I'm gonna go nice and slow. So see how I'm doing that, friends? And I'm staying inside my lines. I'm not coloring outside of the lines. I'm not trying to make a big mess. I'm staying nice inside my lines. Notice where my helper hand is. And I'm sitting up nice and tall. Sometimes I do bend to get a little closer, and that's okay, as long as your feet are on the floor and you're sitting up in your chair. So there we go. I did my triangle. I stayed inside the lines, and I went nice and slow. Now this is a lot of tracing and a lot of coloring. So you could take a little break and shake your hands out if you need to and stretch them out, because, you know, it's a lot of work doing it really nice and neat. But I can't wait to see them. I love my friends sharing your work with me in your assignments. Awesome job. So I hope you enjoyed our story today, and I hope you do a great job practicing your writing. All right, bye friends, we'll see you soon.